VR headset boasts unparalleled visual clarity, which is better than any other headset I've tried before. However, the question remains, does the overall performance of Pimax Crystal measure up to its visual capabilities? Only a month ago, this headset was plagued by missing features and malfunctioning components, so has Pimax kept their promise to deliver a fully realized product by CES 2023? And is this the product that's worth your money? I'm here to find out. When I tried Pimax Crystal for the first time just a month ago during their roadshow, although it was not yet a final polished product, the graphics left me stunned. They were the most lifelike, crisp, vibrant, and crystal clear I had ever seen in virtual reality, surpassing even Vario Aero, which has somewhat lower resolution, no local dimming, and significantly lower field of view. In my video recap of the roadshow, you can see how enthusiastic I am about this impressive graphics quality of the Pimax Crystal. And after revisiting this headset at CES, my initial impressions were confirmed, and visual clarity of the Pimax Crystal is unparalleled. It's even better than on PlayStation VR 2 in terms of clarity and sharpness. But I already knew that. That was pretty much my main takeaway from the roadshow. This time, I wanted to explore other features of this device, specifically the controller tracking. Crystal comes with a Snapdragon XR2 chipset that allows for inside-out tracking, which eliminates the need for base stations and even external controllers, as it comes with its own set of controllers. These controllers were made using a Qualcomm reference model. That's why they bear resemblance to Quest 2 controllers, but the software inside has been significantly altered to cater to Crystal's standalone and PC VR capabilities. A lot of effort has been put into developing these controllers because only about a month ago they weren't even ready to show it to me, so I couldn't test it back then. So what do you think was the first thing I asked the Pimax team to show me when I got to their booth? I was happy to find out that this time the controllers were fully operational and ready for testing. They worked well, at least in games that didn't require very precise movements, like this flight sim game. It was entirely playable, even though I was told that the controller development was only about 80% complete. The problem was, with that game, I couldn't fully gauge the capabilities of this controller tracking because I couldn't push their performance further. And that's when the Pimax team did something for me that they haven't done for any other CES attendee. They let me play Beat Saber. I played a song on an expert difficulty to make it an ultimate controller tracking test. At first it looked and felt really good, but as the song began to speed up, I noticed that I started missing the blocks even though I knew the map really well. In the end, I could not complete the song on expert using Pimax Crystal controllers yet, but I got really far with it. Consider this, in 1 month they went from unwilling to show these controllers to anyone to allowing me to play Beat Saber on expert. And honestly, it wasn't terrible. And to take it even further, the team improved the battery life of these controllers from only 10 minutes early in the fall to over 4 hours at CES. And they're not going to stop there. The development is very rapid, and even though the controller performance indeed was at about 80% based on my testing, given their progress in such a short time, I have no doubt that they will refine these controllers in no time. Pimax Crystal's self-tracking nature and controllers that will come in the box means that you won't need to spend extra on base stations and controllers. However, if you already have them and you're not ready to let them go, you can still use them with Crystal. After buying a Lighthouse faceplate, I think it's really great that Pimax gives you this option, because if you're new to VR and you don't really have anything other than the box with Pimax, then you can use just the controllers that come with it and no base stations. But if you love your index controllers way too much to let it go, you can still use them with that Lighthouse faceplate. But it will cost around $200 US, so keep that in mind. Pimax Crystal also boasts an innovative feature. The headset will come with 2 sets of interchangeable lenses. The first one has an unbelievable pixel density of 42 ppi, and I guarantee you've never seen anything like this before. But it also comes with a slightly reduced field of view. And the second one has a still impressive pixel density of 35 ppi, on par with Vario Aero, but with a way more impressive FOV. I will say this again, 35 is still a very impressive pixel density that will leave you speechless with its clarity and its performance, especially combined with this very impressive impressive field of view. It creates an immersive VR experience that I'm yet to encounter in any other VR headset. And personally for me, when I tried the other set of lenses, I think the trade-off of the field of view to pixel density was a bit too much for me. Although 42 ppi is certainly the absolute next level of clarity, once you experience the wide field of view of Pimax, it's just so hard to go back. But the great news is that both of these sets of lenses will be included in the same box when you buy Pimax Crystal, so you don't really have to choose. You can try them both and see what works best for you. And the interchangeable lenses give the company the flexibility to come up with even more lens variations in the future. How cool is that? Let me also mention a couple of other features that were promised with Pimax Crystal. Fiber optics cable for tethered PC VR gaming, Y-Gig module for wireless gaming, a standalone VR gaming library, a face tracking, eye tracking, and automatic IPD adjustment. Unfortunately, I was unable to test these features during CES, which was a bit disappointing but not surprising given the short time frame since the roadshow. What's more interesting is that the first shipment of Pimax Crystal batch is scheduled for early February 2023, which is only 2 weeks away, and from what I've heard, this initial batch without some of these features that were initially promised. But later on, they will be added through software updates, much like with Quest. I understand that this might be not what you signed up for if you expected to receive a complete headset when you ordered it, but if you really only care about PC VR gaming, then you might be okay not having that standalone library at the very beginning and then receive it later on. You might just wake up one day with a bunch of features added to your headset. And a few words about comfort. In my previous review, I've mentioned that this is the single biggest question mark I put in front of this headset. I didn't find it sitting comfortably on my head, but at the same time, because of the circumstances, I didn't dedicate enough time to actually position it well on my head. But this time, I made it my mission to find the most comfortable fit of this headset on my face, and I succeeded. The key was the top strap. By adjusting the top strap to bear some of the weight of the headset, it made a tremendous difference. Additionally, due to the placement of the battery, the weight was evenly distributed at the front and at the back, making it far more comfortable than its predecessor, Pimax 8KX. And some other features that I haven't discussed in much detail simply because I've already been going on and on about them in my previous review include the local dimming feature, which is truly amazing and sets Crystal apart from its competitors, particularly the Vario Aero. Crystal boasts an impressive horizontal and vertical fields of view, free from any blurriness or discoloration at the edges, and appears simply amazing. And of course, the rechargeable hot swappable batteries, which is an absolute win for the Crystal. If you're eager to learn about these and other features, you need to watch this video. And please excuse my sometimes childlike excitement when I talk about this headset. I mean, it was my first time seeing such amazing clarity in VR. I was so young back then.